So today we're going to be watching Hugo play the Horde mode, and I'm going to be giving some thoughts on what I think about it, some different things we're going to need to know, and go over a bunch of information that he's already talked about. So as you see here, he's starting with the combat shotgun, and I already saw a Doom Hunter on the other edge of the screen, and I can see he's got some of the high scores on the right side. So it's a little bit of a different feel to it. It's going to be based on trying to get a high score like the Doom 2016 arcade mode was, but we have a lot of information to talk about today and go over. So actually, something surprised me. We'll get to that here in a second. So yes, the hammer's going to be rebalanced. I covered that in a news video. Now, the weapons are going to be a little bit randomized, and after you complete each round, you're going to get a new one. So we're going to be asked to solve problems that we've never seen before. So maybe like a marauder with the combat shotgun. So it's going to be a little bit different in that regard. You have to stay on your toes for sure. So we're going to actually get some seasonal leaderboards that are 5 weeks. Ooh, look at that, high score. Seasonal leaderboards that are 5 weeks long, and this having seasons this late into the game. And then we're going to have different of the titles for you to earn along the way. So the top ranking people get one, the next down the other, depending on the difficulty that you play. There's so much stuff here, it's crazy. Now, we also know that it's going to save at the start of a mission. Hugo talked about the master level saving issue I've addressed in a video too. There's some technical reasons behind it, why it's tough to incorporate. But you'll have Cultist Base as your first mission, Reclaimed Earth as your second, and then Holt as the third. And there will be DLC demons abound, of course. As you can see right here, he's just at the start of the match. But you'll be getting some of those different things. And so if you beat Cultist, you can save, Reclaimed Earth, save, and so on and so forth. So that's a huge relief for not being able to marathon this whole thing. Now, if you do die, you do go back to the start, I believe. I'm curious to see some clarification on if it's a mission or the whole game. So I don't want to tell you something wrong there, of course. Man, but if you're wondering, like, Allstin, man, dude, this is going to be really freaking hard. Well, you get a lot of extra lives. And something super interesting to me, as we see him glory kill that Hell Knight. Oh, look, see Dag Runnox talked. Listen to this. The branded demons. He's on a timer now. These are the bounty demons, and you have to kill them while in a certain amount of time. So his gold is worth the most, and then silver as they go down in time, and then finally bronze. So it's not just a speedrun challenge here. It's a little bit of everything in that you have to manage your points very much like 2016 arcade mode. They're actually going to bring those medallions back, it seems. And the expectation at the far end of Horde, Hugo says, is that you're going to eventually drown in it. Just drown in Horde. It's the last two waves, the last arena, he said, are bonkers. So it's going to be crazy. So if you want a challenge, you got it. I was talking about extra lives a minute ago, right? And remember, I actually made a video recently that talked about the cut 3-up. Well, it's actually apparently in here. They're saving it for Horde, sneaky id. So you get 1, 2, or 3-up at the end of the Blitz round, which is the speed round, and you can see he's on wave 2 already on this gameplay, and depending on how you do, you'll get the different amount of extra lives, which is pretty cool. So you see these bounty demons, they're high value targets. Like I said, if you kill them in time, you get a different point value and then a quad damage to be able to, at the end of one wave, to use onto the bonus rounds. It's crazy. This is a literal whole new game mode. So if you're a console player, if you're a PC and you're worried about like replayability, you have a lot to master with this. Let me tell you what, man. So other than the quad damage, save the power-ups for the bonus rounds and risk and reward management, they're going to allow us to master at the top levels. It's going to be not just a master level of difficulty straight from the start, but you're going to work up to pure insanity, it sounds like. And this is not going to be easy. So something else that I want to look at too is they say that the best runs are when people, oh look, it's a Bloodmaker already. Like he's just at the start. He's already got Cybermank's Bloodmaker. He's got the combat shotgun. This is on UV for the demonstration purposes, and there isn't a particular Ultra Nightmare, but you can do Nightmare, and we'll talk about the bonuses here in just a second and explain why you're still going to want to treat it like UN. But as you can see, it's not holding back. You have to deal with all these advanced demons with a very limited arsenal. So classic mode, that would be a great way to prepare if you want to. But anyway, like I was saying about, they say that the most exciting rounds are when people go for the gold, when they really try to maximize that score bonus. And hey, I get it, man. Like, that's what you're fighting for at the end of these 5-week seasons. Look, there you go. He's got the 3x right there. You see that? Look at this. Listen to this.
That's what he drops, and I could strategically pick that up what I want. So you'll see the wave counter.
Interesting, isn't it?
Upper middle right of the screen. I'm on currently wave 3. The little demonic symbol under the second one is an indicator to let you know
Ah.
round has the high value targets in them.
So round 2 has high value targets, and there's an optional wave at the end. So if you really want to go for it, you can push all the way. And the last demon drops his bonus, so he's got a silver score multiplier. So you want to go for that gold. Now, if you don't use your extra lives, if you do not shoot a BFG, this gives you a bonus. See, look, he's making progress to the classic Doom 2 Classic Marine. That is so cool. And then the biker one's the other one. But basically, you don't want to use your extra lives for your BFG if you're really pushing for the top scores. So they're saying no super weapons for BFG if you really want to push to that top. So I'm curious to see who's willing to make that sacrifice to not use those things. Now, he says don't expect Horde to be a master level, as I mentioned earlier. It doesn't start at 0, as we have just seen. It is for Doom fans. It is for people who have played the game, who are really willing to sink their teeth in and push for this thing. This is not going to be, oh look, randomized weapon. This is cool. What's he going to get? Heavy cannon. So as you can see, the reason that they wanted to go with randomization is that whenever in their testing, their internal testing its software, people were like, yeah, I want the super shotgun first. I want the rocket launcher first. And this really forces you to adapt to your current situation and where you're at and what you're trying to put together. So if you were able to think on your feet, you will be rewarded. If you have had practice using full auto, which is getting a buff, we'll talk about that one day, then you will be rewarded. And you see his weapon right there was a heavy cannon. So they're going to be base game to DLC 2. We're going to all the maps. We're fighting all the enemies. So if you have not played the tag games, play them now, or just go in these codex entries, read up on them. Make sure that you're keeping tight info on that. So we're going to see lots of spirits, stuff possessed that we've never seen possessed before. So I'm hoping maybe like Armored Barons or maybe Archviles. And you can see he's making this progress on this horizontal bar here with the 3 different missions up at the top. And it looks like a Blitz round. So this is pretty cool. We'll watch him go through here as we talk about what else is coming. You may not have the plasma to deal with the early spirits. As you can see, he's got a pretty brutal night here. Use these traps in Cultist base and learn the enemies. Man, like I talked to people about UN. This is 15 Hell Knights, it looks like. Learn where the enemies spawn. I have a video on trigger enemies. Ask me for a link or check my channel, type it in. Learn where they are, and really, you're going to be rewarded for putting this time in with efficient effort, right? So lots of spirits want to see stuff never possessed before, which is crazy. You may not have the plasma to deal with the early ones, so better watch out. But at the same time, that spirit's not going to linger around for all of the waves. Like if he starts at wave 1, he's not going to hang out to wave 3 because that'd be obnoxious, right? Now, like I said, the last 2 have been broken. He calls for the waves, but there's just so much information. Hammer charges are 4 now to get the hammer fully working, so it's not so broken. There's just a lot. So let's take a look at some of his gameplay. I want to see his timer ran out. So this is live. This is my first time seeing this, so this is brand new to me. So the next unlock, it shows your progress to that. Really wants you to chase it. He got the 3-up. The 3-up that is in the game. It was in the files. I did a video on it. I thought it was unused. I've actually known about the command for a while, so it looks like that they ended up using the 3-up. Blows my mind, man. So he's exploring around different areas. Let's listen to him talk for a minute.
Mastering. That's why Josh and I are only going to show you the first mission, because I don't want to give it all away. I want you guys to figure out how to master missions 2 and 3.
I was hoping that they would not. There it is. 3 extra dollars.
Probably I should shut up a little bit because I am kind of spoiling. A lot of this is
yeah. So he's on the bonus.
Gain over time.
Yeah, and this is cool.
So now I'm in
the bonus coin round, right? So as I like to do with my reaction videos, I like to try to. I'm gonna give them a chance to talk, of course, but try to collect the coins. If you've not seen this on yourself, I'm assuming you've already seen it, so that's why I'm not playing everything through. But I hope that they wouldn't show everything, and thankfully it looks like that they're not. And they're going to be some traversal puzzles, some blitz rounds for you to earn the different rewards in. And let's see, what else are we missing here? Let's see. Another 3-up. Man, you really do get a lot of extra lives. And you can see in the top left-hand corner is where those lives are. My camera is obscuring the high score in the top corner here, so I'm going to move that down. And you're back in the next arena here for Cultist. Now, he's hit 9 extra lives. Check it.
Coin encounter was pretty easy.
Let it begin, Dagronox. How is he here? How is he still a hologram? So we're going on to the next one. I can see this being a lengthy thing. This is going to be an endurance test. I knew it would be. Sure enough, going to be like, to my understanding, well, there are turrets in the Cultist base arena that we've never seen before. He's still got the limited arsenal. So if you're not fortunate enough to have a precision bolt by this point, you better be using your rockets, your stickies. You got a lot to consider, and each playthrough is going to be different. So, hey, console players, listen to me, or even PC that's unmodded. If you want a randomizer, well, it's probably the closest thing console is going to get to one of those because of the different weapon choices. And even the turrets, just being able to handle them in their own way. So I think this is going to be interesting. Dread Knights, normally this reminds me of the Cultist base, or the Exultia Slayer gate, because you're really under-equipped when you get to that point, right? And you can see Hugo here, he doesn't have the full arsenal to deal with this Dread Knight. Thankfully, he has the dash. I know with, as I mentioned a moment ago before I cut myself off, with these reaction-based, free-flowing, chill-type videos, I like to try to give some insight in what I think's happening rather than just, straightforward what we got on screen. So I'm not going to spoil everything, too. I want to keep things a secret for you as well, but let's see what he has to say.
Inside the time limit. Now I have 9. Yep. But I don't want to lose any because my score will go down if I lose any.
If he loses them, his score goes down. Remember, we talked about that. So he's going to approach another wave with the bounty demons coming up, and I think... Here we go. Here's some advice from Hugo. Listen, here we go.
Some of you higher skill guys might walk into the final, and Josh can attest to this.
Oh.
In that final
into
encounter,
the what? Tell me.
I don't care if you're walking in there with 18, 15 lives.
Yeah. 18 or 15.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
You're
going to, so you can see a lot of pinkies here. So for this wave, if you don't have the remote dead, if you don't have... This is going to be blood punch heavy, right? It looks like you got 2 blood punch. Ooh, here we go. Let's watch the branded demons, as he calls them. The bounty demons spawning. They're branded like cows. That's crazy. There he is. So he just got blocked by the pinky. The pinky is using his crowd control to stop him from reaching the carcass, who is also using his shield to stop him from reaching it. So it's not just as simple as point A to point B. You're going to have, as I've always liked to talk about, encounter design that is smart. You have ranged and pressure units, as I talked in my Samurai video. You put them together. You pair them up. So pinkies and carcasses really screw you for hurrying along in time. So that's the issue. This arena knows that the time is what you need to have. You need to go quickly to get the pinkies and the carcasses, and they fight with each other, using each other's strengths to make it harder. Ramming into you, shield, everything. So he's got his 3 up here, or the 3 it looks like. Let's take a look. I don't know how long this water's been sitting here, but it's fine. Let's see. He's taking the pad up. Let's see what he has to say.
On both times, which pisses me off.
But again, it's something to work on, memorize, think about.
Just like you, and work on and memorize.
It gives you something to master. Exactly.
So by that point, you're going to know, you're going to have to develop a strategy on hey, how can I deal with this pinky carcass room? What can I do? Because I know they're going to be fighting and working against me. Saving all these power-ups, saving everything straight up for the valuable rounds. Because you want to be strong going into these, because you're going to have a time in which you need to... Here, let's check it out.
Plan your onslaught runs and plan your high-value target runs. Like, when he calls out... All right, everybody cover your ears if you don't want a spoiler. But my pro tip is when he calls out, special targets for you, you want to chainsaw. So that way you're able to just tear ass on the
rip and tear.
Target.
Nice. Okay.
And then also with onslaught, the worst thing
by the way,
in the
look
world
at
is
that
when
grenade.
you get an onslaught and
Look
you
at
run
that.
out of ammo.
Yeah.
Grenade on the race car. That makes sense. You go into the onslaught. You're going to need a lot of ammo because you're going to be under a time constraint. It's like a secret encounter. If you don't have much ammo, that chainsaw takes 3 seconds, and you're going to put yourself right on the back foot when you're trying to go in with full. So my prediction is that you're going to want to memorize when these bounty demons come in, make sure you're clear up for it with ammo, and then make sure that you know where they're going to spawn, which ones to get, and have a plan to get each one, and be able to think on the fly. Don't try to save a failing plan, as I've said before, to be able to take them out. So there, right there, he got his multiplier activated, the Onslaught Silver. So he saved it for this point in time, and he's absolutely shredding them with the micro missiles. Holy cow, Hugo. Oh, man. So there's a lot going on in this thing right now, man. Oh, that's too close. Notice the full auto is a little different now. It's gotten a buff. I'm curious to see more information. That's something good to talk about. No zoom in. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens in that regard. He's got low health, 21. Nice. So let's see. Oh, a pain elemental. So I see right now, just my first impressions and thoughts going in, they're still throwing him a lot. He doesn't have a ballista to deal with the pain elemental. He doesn't have the rocket launcher, the SSG. So you really have to treat this like classic mode in certain ways to be able to deal with the focus, or the threats that are going to be coming your way. that you don't normally have to deal with. I'm curious what you're thinking of right now as you're watching this video, as you're watching my commentary on Hugo's commentary on one of the new thing. What are your impressions? What are some strategies that you're going to be using, and where do you think you're going to be weak with this so that other people in the comments can help you figure out too? So let's hear what Hugo and Josh have to say for a second. I'm thirsty.
I'm killing my last high value target to know when he drops his onslaught, it's going to be where I want it to be for the next encounter. You start thinking ahead like that much. It starts to get pretty meta, pretty crazy.
All right, so what he's meaning there is that you plan out the last target you're going to kill, so you are able to know where that onslaught is, so you can plan for when the next wave starts in order to maximize it, make the best use of it. And it looks like he's on this extra wave here, so that's a little spicy to see what he's got going on. But all in all, I think he's about wrapping that one up. Looking good there, right? It looks like just a lone Dreadnought or something. So, no, I was wrong. He can't go in for the... He had issues going in for the glory kill, but thankfully was able to push through and knock it out. With the other Dreadnought coming up close behind him, he's going to go ahead and go for the stagger with the Zombie 2. It looks like he has no hammer yet, so he's going to have to earn that. The grenades on the race car HUD, this is something that people have been asking about a lot, at least for the frag that he's got. Looking good. Let's hear what they have to say real quick.
At the most optimal time.
Most optimal time. Man, there's a lot of strategy that's going to go into this, more than people, I think, give credit for it with enemy placements and where they are, where you have to... we're going to find out a lot of things about, create a meta for it. Let's see what weapon he gets. Oh! Same reaction as Josh. He said, it's your birthday. So, would have been nice to have that a minute ago, huh? I'm curious, so they come look like with fully loaded with the mods. That's interesting. So, can't complain there. But yeah, you have to remember where things are, spawns, set up where you want to kill X enemy, Y enemy, and nice skin. And be able to plan out where you want everything to be. So that's interesting. That looked like a traversal round.
So this is our first traversal round.
So it's 3 arenas. So let's take a look at this. Ooh, meat hook platforming more.
To reach the exit portal at the end,
I like this.
Bonus coins to gain points over time. Their value decreases from gold to silver to bronze. Collect all bonus coins and reach the portal to enter the bonus Blitz round. So,
wow, that's a lot to take in.
I've done this many times. What you guys are going to need to do is do it a couple times to figure out how to get from here.
I dig. Okay, so yeah, so this is basically, if you play PC modding, it's similar to the meat hook platforming in Proteus Horde mode. If you played any of Delta's mods, he's got some sections in UAC Atlantica that do the same thing. If you're on console, this is going to be a fun experience as he does not have the meat hook yet, and that is looks like a hazard.
Fodder or 0 points? Yeah, we went over that. So
fodder or 0 point? Okay, we'll take that.
But gargoyles, for example, even though they're considered
Let's listen to him real quick.
Semi-fodder class, they're still worth 50.
50. Okay, so gargoyles are worth something. That's interesting. Oh, look at that! You got the traverse around. You got the quad. That was pretty smooth. So he's about to unlock the classic Doom Marine.
So
there's a lot that goes into this.
1 up to the side is optional. Like not everybody will. The 2 up is optional. Not everybody will get it. It's off the beat.
Man, it's
so
crazy.
Really requires skill, and you guys will see that like
this is kind of a long way.
With each playthrough of the traversal rounds, they're tricky. They're hard to do. Like
I can see where they would be, man.
You really have to time your jumps, figure out how best to do it, and you got to do it fast. Like the more you do it, the better you get at it. The more points you get out of it, you get more gold coins.
Controller gang rise up.
And in some cases, you can't even finish it until you've done it a couple times.
Yeah.
Pretty epic. So he's going over to a bonus round here. It looks like.
Successfully now unlock the bonus round.
So let's see what this bonus round has to offer for us.
And yeah, I'm not
these
kidding.
bonus rounds are my favorite bonus rounds in every mission. I like these ones the most. These ones are cool.
So let's see what this one has.
When you first play this,
is pretty interesting.
That you're gonna finish like that traversal.
So it sounds like.
I mean, I'm just letting you know. Like,
oh, kills me before time runs out. Okay.
Like you're not gonna do it that easily.
So you need to remember where they're going to spawn here too as well. Okay, I can dig that.
When you're playing these,
let's see what Josh has to say.
You might have to like die and start.
You got 1 minute for 13 Cybermen you buy. Dude, you better. Okay, so you get the quad. What would be the best way to deal with this? I would use the cue balls, ballista. He's got blood punches. If you got a quadded up blood punch, you will take him down in 1 hit. What else might be a good strat? Really, just anything to get as much DPS as you can while using the cue balls. And that's going to be tough because you have some of these hazard. It responds. Cue balls are going to be tough to get up because you have some of these hazards that are sticking their way up angrily in front of you to block your shots. Looks like you get a bunch of quads. But you see he's got 25 seconds left, and he's got an 11 Cyber Mancubi, so there is enough time to make sure that you get this done once he gets some practice down. He has not made any extra kills. He's going to have to really speed things up to be able to knock these last 2 out in these 14 seconds we have remaining, and one more. Can he do it? I feel like an auctioneer right now. All right, looking good. So Hugo, with about 9 seconds to spare, has done it. Wait, has he failed in it? No. How's he? No, he's. Oh, no, it doesn't stop. You get as many as you can for bonus points, it looks like. That's cool. That's just my hunch of it on the first time. So, very curious to see what happens there. So, we're going to call that video here. I'm not going to spoil any more of it. I've been going for 20 minutes now. So, subscribe to the channel if you like Doom content, combat analysis, and come over to the Discord. We'll talk to you there. Thank you so much for watching.